Hello children, welcome to the chapter AP. So we are on the 27th sum of 9B exercise. So here let us read the question first. If the first term and the common difference of AP are 12 and 6 respectively, find the last term if the sum of AP is 5, 4, 1, 2. So now here you can see first term is given to you as 12, common difference is given to you as 6, and even the sum is given to you as 5412. So you have to find the last term. So let's see how to go about this sum. So first term, common difference and SN we have to list as given. To find is the last term, and whenever you want to find the last term, it's very important to find or to know n. So first we'll be finding the value of n using the formula for Sn is equal to n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Now as the value of Sn is 5412, we'll be substituting that. N upon 2 bracket 2 into 12 plus n minus 1 into d value is given to us as 6. So we'll be substituting that. After that, 5412 is equal to n upon 2. We have written the same thing. Now what we are doing is, we are going to pull this 2 common here. As you can see, plus sign is separating this term and this term. And this 6 is divisible by 2, so we can pull out 2 common. So when we pull out 2 common, we are left with 12 plus 3 bracket n minus 1. Now 2 and 2 gets cancelled, and now we'll open this small bracket. So that is 3n minus 3. 12 minus 3, we got the value as 9 plus 3n. Now we open this bracket and we get 9n plus 3n square. So you can see now we can write this particular thing in the quadratic equation form. So that is what we are doing it. We are writing 3n square plus 9n minus 5412 is equal to 0. Now as you can see, this number 5412 is divisible by 3 because here 3 and here 9 is also divisible by 3. So to simplify, if we can check if 5412 is divisible by 3, we can convert this particular equation in the simple quadratic equation form. So we'll check with the divisibility test. 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus 2, 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so it's possible. So when we divide this with 3, we get 1804. Now as this is minus sign over here, you should understand that you have to get the middle term by subtracting the factors. So when we factorize it, you can check over here, we got 41 and 44. 44 minus 41 is 3. So we can get the middle term. And you have to see that the middle term should be given the positive sign, as the middle term, in front of the middle term, it's plus sign. So we give bigger number the positive sign. So n square plus 44n minus 41n minus 1804 is equal to 0. So we got n plus 44 and n minus 41 in 2 brackets. Therefore, n is equal to minus 44 and n is equal to 41. As minus 44 is not possible, as the terms cannot be negative, so we ignore that and we take n is equal to 41. So as number of terms cannot be negative, we ignore and we take n is equal to 41. Now a41 is equal to a plus 41 minus 1d. You substitute the value for a as 12, d as 6, and 40 into 6 we got 240. 240 plus 12 is 252. That is how we get the value of the last term. Once we know the number of terms, so we know that the last term is 41th term, and that is how we find the value, by substituting the value. I hope this is clear. Thank you, children. Now after that, we'll go to the 28th sum. Avril invests rupees 50 in first month and increases the monthly investment by rupees 20 every succeeding month. What will be the total investment after 5 years? So here, invest rupees 50 for the first month means A value we have. Monthly it increases by rupees 20, so we have the value of D as well. Total investment for 5 years, you have to convert years into months to get the value of N. So let's see. Here first term A is rupees 50. Common difference D is rupees 20. Number of months 5 into 12, that is 60 months. So here you have to write months. After that we have to find the sum of 60 terms. The reason is we have to find the total investment. So if you read the question, they have asked what will be the total investment after 5 years. So we have to find S60. So S60 is equal to n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Will be using this formula. We'll substitute the value of n as 60. 2 into 50 plus 60 minus 1 into 20. 60 minus 1 is 59. 59 into 20 and 2 into 50 is 100. We divide 60 and 2, we get the value as 30. Now we have to solve this bracket first. So here if you see 59 into 20, we get 1180, and when we add 100 we get 1280, and then we multiply 30 with this, we get 38400. Okay, so 38,400 is the total investment after 5 years. Okay, that is the sum what he has paid every month. I hope it's clear. Okay, so now we go to the next sum, children. In the next sum, if you read the question, it said, if the sum of n terms of a sequence is given by Sn is equal to 3n square plus 5n, show that nth term is 6n plus 2 and the sequence is an AP, means in an AP. The sequence, you have to prove that it is AP. So first, here when Sn is given in the form of equation and you have to find the nth term, always remember, so first write the given thing and we have to find an value as 6n plus 2. To show it is, not to find, it's to show. And solution, what we are going to do is, see whenever, for example, now here I'll be showing you this. So suppose if you have the series as 1, comma 2, comma 3. So you will see that it is, the D value is, it is increasing by 1. So common difference is 1. So this is a series. Now suppose if I want you to find the second term, okay, and this series is not given to you. So now if total is given to you, Sn, here because there are only 3 terms, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. So if you take the sum of 3 terms is equal to 6 here, and sum of 2 terms is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay. Now if you subtract sum of 3 terms minus sum of 2 terms, what are you going to get the answer as? Okay, that is 6 minus. So you can see that you are going to get the third term because you have taken S3 minus S2. Now if you want to find second term similarly, you'll have to find S2, that is the sum of 2 terms, and you'll have to subtract the sum of 1 term. So whichever number you want to find, you have to write the sum of that term minus the sum of the previous term. So that will give you the third term. So here you can see A3, that is how we figure out the formula. A3, that is the third term, is equal to sum of third term minus sum of second term. Okay, so third term is equal to sum of third term. You have to start with that, subtracting the sum of the initial term. So same logic we are going to use over here to find the value. So here you can see I have written the Sn value as 3n plus 5n. Now in the next, Sn minus 1, we are going to write 3 bracket n minus 1. So where it is n, now here we'll be writing, okay, children, just make a little change over here. This is square over here. Okay, so 3n square. Square is missing, so just make this change. It is 3n square. Okay, so just write over your square. Now we go to the next slide. I hope you have written this. Now we go to the next slide. So here we are going to find Sn minus 1. So where n is there, there will be writing Sn 3, n minus 1 the whole square, and 5n was there. So instead of n, we'll be writing n minus 1. So wherever n was there, now n minus 1, the initial sum of the initial terms. So n minus 1 the whole square plus 5n minus 1. Now when we square it, we'll get n square minus 2n plus 1. So we are using a minus b the whole square formula. And 5n minus 5. We have opened this. So now we'll open this bracket also. So we get 3n square minus 6n plus 3 plus 5n minus 5. Now 3n square, we'll be writing 3n square. Minus 6n plus 5n will be getting minus n. Plus 3 minus 5 will be getting minus 2. So now this is our value which we have got for Sn minus 1. Okay. So now in the next slide, we have to find the anth value. As I showed you in the previous slide, that A3 if we want to find, will S3 minus S2 will be subtracting. So here as we have to find An, Sn minus 1 will be subtracting. We have the value for Sn as 3n square plus 5n minus bracket 3n square minus n minus 2. So when we open the bracket, we get 3n square plus 5n minus 3n square plus n plus 2. Okay, when we are opening the bracket, we'll change the sign. 3n square and 3n square, as the signs are different, we will cut it. 5n plus n plus 2. So 5n plus n, we get the value as 6n, and 6n plus 2 we have got. So hence prove that an is equal to 6n plus 2. That is what we had to show. After that, in the question, if you see, it is said you have to show that nth term is this and the sequence is an AP. So whenever we want to show that sequence is an AP, always remember we have to find the value of D, and common difference, if you check, it's going to be constant. 3 minus 2, as we saw in the sequence, is 1. So 1 is constant. So here we have to prove now D is constant. So for that, when we are finding the D, what we are doing is, suppose if we want to find the D, we subtract A2 minus A1 maybe. A3 minus A2 is also equal. So that is how we show it. So now as an value is given in form of equation, so we will be using an is 6n plus 2, and an minus 1, where n is there you will be substituting n minus 1. So we'll be writing 6 bracket n minus 1 plus 2. So now when we subtract, from the what you are doing is preceding number, you are going to subtract from the succeeding number. So if it is an and an minus 1 is before that, so an minus 1. So that is what we have written. So 6n plus 2 minus bracket 6n minus 1 plus 2. Now first you will be opening this bracket. So here we are first opening the bracket. So when we multiply 6 into n, 6n minus 6 plus 2, we'll subtract this. Minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4. And when we open the bracket, it becomes 6n plus 2 minus 6n minus into minus plus 4. 6n gets cancelled. Plus 2 and plus 4 becomes 6. So that is constant. You can see we are getting a single number. So as this is a constant, common difference is constant. So therefore, we have proved that the sequence is in AP. So you just mention over here that the common difference, so write over here as D is equal to AN minus A n minus 1 is constant, therefore this particular sequence is in AP. So you just mention that as D, you have got the value as 6, sorry. You have got the value as 6 and it is constant. So therefore the sequence is in an AP. The sequence is in an AP. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now what we will do is we'll go to the next part. So in the next question, 30th question, it said if the sum of first 20 terms of an AP is 610 and the first term is 2, find the common difference. So your first term is given to you, n you know it is 20 and the sum is given to you for 20 terms as 610 and you have to find the common difference. So how to go about it? You have to write the given thing as 20, 610, A is 2 and the value of n is 20. From here we know that it is 20. So please mention over here even that the value of n is 20. N is equal to 20, which is missing in the given. So please mention that as well, that S is 610, A is 2 and N is 20. Okay, after that to find as common difference is equal to how much? So for that we'll be using S20 formula, Sn formula, n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. As we want to find S20, we'll be substituting here 20. Okay, so now we go to the next slide. So after that, the next slide, it's substitute the value 610 is equal to 20 upon 2 bracket 2 into 2 plus 20 minus 1d. Okay, so now we'll be solving this small bracket. 20 minus 1 is 19, 19d, and 2 into 2 we got 4. Now we'll take, you can simplify it over here, 2 ones are 2 tens are, and then take it over here, or just take the reciprocal, and when you're taking it over here, division becomes multiplication and multiplication here, which is over there, becomes division. So here you will get 610 into 2 upon 20. So 0, 0 gets cancelled off. 61, 2 and 2 gets cancelled off. So you are left with 61. Now this 4, because it's plus over here, when you're bringing it, becomes 61 minus 4 is equal to 19d. So 61 minus 4 is 57. And when you divide, you want to find the value of d, so you'll divide 57 with 19, so you get the value of d as 3. So that is how you got the answer. Common difference is equal to 3. Now we go to the next question. In the next question, it is said 150 workers were engaged to finish a piece of work in a certain number of days. 4 workers dropped on the second day. 4 more workers dropped on the third day, and so on. It took 8 more days to finish the work now. Find the number of days in which the work was completed. So you can see over here, they have given 150 workers were engaged to finish a piece of work. That means initially there were 150 workers. After that, every day 4 workers were dropping. And because every day 4 workers were dropping, they took more days to complete that work. So now you have to find the number of days in which the work was completed. So now as A is 150, because initially 150 workers were there. D is minus 4 because every day there is decrease in the number of workers. So it is, as it is decreasing order, so D will be negative. Now N is the number of days in which the work was completed. So that we are taking as N. Okay, if you see, here we have that we have to find and that we are selecting as N. So now in the next solution, what we are going to do is Hn is the total number of workers on n days. Okay. So total number of workers when you are calculating, it will be n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Will be using that formula. Because last day, on the last day, how many workers were there? Okay. That you will have to know. And for that, n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. So a is 150, and that is how we calculate by, finding using the value of d as minus 4 of Sn. So here also I have pulled 2 common, because you can see these terms 2 into 150 and n minus 1 into minus 4. Here also 2 is common. So I'll pull that 2 out. 2 gets cancelled. In the bracket I get 150 minus 2 bracket n minus 1. When I open the bracket I get minus 2n and minus into minus plus 2. 150 plus 2 becomes 152 minus 2n, and this n now I'll multiply. So I'll get 152n minus 2n square. Now the number of workers would have been same. Now this is the second instance. If it would have, they wouldn't have dropped, in between. And if it was 150 till the entire work was completed, then what will be the number of workers? Because then they would have taken 8 days less. Okay, so whenever you want to find the number of workers, total sum of the number of workers, so 150, because we are adding 150, 150, 150, and they are there for n minus 8 days, because if they would have been there, then the number of days what it would have took to complete the entire work, as it took 8 more days, it would have been 8 less days. Okay, so that is, then the work would have been finished 8 days earlier. So it is n minus 8. So total number of workers now it will be 150 into n minus 8, because how many days they were working, and 150 was initially. So total days into 150 will give you the total number of workers who were working, because same workers, yeah, but then for n days they are working. So n into 150. But as they are working for n minus 8 days, it will be n minus 8 into 150. Now Sn is equal to, as we have got from here, 152 minus 2n square. So 152 minus 2n square is equal to 150 into n minus 8. And then we equate this, 150 into n minus 150 into 8 becomes 1200. So we get minus 2n square plus 152 minus 150n plus 1200 is equal to 0. Now as you can see, it is in the quadratic equation form. So as it is in the quadratic equation form, and we'll change this negative sign and simplify it by dividing it with 2. So we got it as n square minus n minus 600 is equal to 0. Now we'll factorize 600. So when we factorize 600, as you can see over here, it is minus. That means by subtracting, you should get the value. So we'll write 25 and 24. So it is minus 25 and plus 24n. So we get n minus 25 and bracket n plus 24. So that is how we get the value of n as 25 or the value of n as minus 24. Number of days cannot be negative. So we ignore this value and we write 25 days. So number of days in which the work was completed is equal to 25 days. Is it clear till here? I hope it's clear. Now we go to the next question. In the next question, it is said a penalty on a contractor for delay in completion of a residential building is rupees 800 on the first day, rupees 900 for the second day, and 1000 for third day. So you can see here there is a difference of 100 rupees every. The penalty is 100 more for each succeeding day. That means D is 100. And as it is said, the penalty on the first day is rupees 800. So A is 800. Now how much does the contractor have to pay if there is a delay of 40 days? Means n is 40 days, so you have to find the how much does the contractor have to pay, means s 40, because some he will be paying rupees 100 every day, and if it is delayed by 40 rupees 40 days, sorry, so how many rupees he has to pay, that we have to calculate. So how to go about it? A value is rupees 800, D is 100. Number of days delay is 40 days, so n is 40. So amount the contractor have to pay is Sn. So we'll calculate Sn by using the formula n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Now we substitute as 40 upon 2 bracket 2 into 800 plus 40 minus 1 into 100. 40 minus 1 is 39, 39 into 100, 3900. 2 into 800 is 1600. When we add this, we get 5500. 5500 into 2, we get 1,10,000 rupees you'll have to pay for the delay of 40 days. So that is how you'll write this answer in the end, and you will put it in the box. Okay. Thank you, children. Till your please complete it in your notebook, and see to it that your work is completed in time. Okay. Now next question. A sum of rupees 5500 is used to award 10 prizes. If each prize is rupees 50 more than the preceding prize, find the value of first and the last prize. So you have to find the value of A. See, because S sum is given to you, 10 prizes means N is known to you. D value is given to you, that is 50. And then you have to find value of A and DL. So your SN 5500, number of prizes 10, D is rupees 50. You have to find the value for A and you have to find the value of last term, that can be L or AN. So you'll be using the formula Sn is equal to n upon 2 bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. Substitute the value 5500 is equal to 10 upon 2 into 2a plus 10 minus 1 into 50. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 into this 50 becomes 25 when I'm pulling this 2 out. So I'll pull this 2 out. You can see there are two different terms. So I can pull that. And here I'm left with 9 into 25. So 2 gets cancelled. This 0 and this 0 gets cancelled. So I get 550 is equal to A plus 25 into 9 becomes 225. Now after that, 550 and 225, when you subtract, you get 325. So that is how you get the value of A. Now you want to find the value of A10, because the last term, 10th term. So we use the formula A plus n minus 1d. We substitute A as 325, 10 minus 1, 9, 9 into the value of D is 50. So 9 into 50, we got 450. 450 plus 325, we got 775. That is how you get the answer for the last term and the value for the first term. Okay, children? So please write it down. You are really doing well. You are copying everything, posting everything in time. Thank you for that. Please do it regularly. Now next question is, find the number of integers between 100 and 800 which are divisible by 11. So 100 and 800 which are divisible by 11. So the first term you have to find the integer after 100 which is divisible by 11, and before 800 which is divisible by 11. So for that you can use the divisibility test of 11 to figure out whether this particular number can be divisible or not. So let's see. Now here I have figured it out. It is 11 110 or 11 and 0. So now how did I do that? So here you can see that a divisibility test if you want to check. So what you have to do is 1 minus 1 means first and second number you subtract and second and third number you add. Okay, alternative subtraction and addition you will be doing. So alternative, when you do add and subtract, you'll be getting the value of if you are getting the value as 0 or any number which is divisible by 11, you know that it is divisible by 11. So here you can see 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, so it's divisible by 11. Same thing over here, you can see that 792, so 7 minus 9 plus 2 is equal to minus 2 and plus 2 will give you 0. So again you can see that it is divisible by 11. So that is how you can figure out the number which is given to you as divisible by 11. So you have to see the numbers which are before 800 and you have to check with this divisibility test the number which is after 100. And here I think 11 110 you can figure out, because 11 nines is 99 and 11 tens is 110. So you know that 3-digit number after 100 which is divisible by 11 is 1110, and you can also check it with the divisibility test. Okay, so that is how you'll be able to do that. After that we go to the next part, that D is 11. As I told you, divisible by word which comes for the number, that is D. You have to find the value of n first. Now, why the value of n? Because if you see in the question, it is said number of integers. So number of integers which are there in between 100 and 800, you have to find the value for n. So an is equal to a plus n minus 1d. You know the value of last term, you know the value of first term, you know d. So that will go easy for you to find the value of n. So 792 minus 110, we get the value as 682. Then divide 682 with 11, you get 62. Then you take this 1 to the other side, it becomes 62 plus 1, that is equal to 63. So that is how you know the number of integers between 100 and 800 is equal to 63. After that, we go to the next question. The next question, it says that the second term of an AP is 2 and its seventh term is 22. Find the sum of 35 terms of the AP. So A2 is given to you, A7 is given to you, and you have to find S35. So you know that whenever such type of questions we have done before also, so we have to frame two equations and then we have to find the value of A and D, and that is how we'll be getting the value of S35. So A2 will be written as A plus D is equal to 2. A7 will be written as A plus 6D is equal to 22. Now subtracting equation 2 from equation 1, we'll be cancelling A and we'll be getting 6 plus D. As it is negative here, 6 minus D is equal to 5D. 22 minus 2, because the sign has changed now. 22 minus 2 will give us 20. 20 divided by 5 will get the value as 4. So that is how we got the value of D. Now substituting in equation 1, the value of D, we get A plus D is equal to 2. So A plus 4 is equal to 2. So A is equal to 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. Now once we got the value of A and we got the value of D, we'll be substituting in the value of S35 formula. So n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d, 35 upon 2, 2 into minus 2 plus 35 minus 1 into 4. 35 minus 1 is 34, 34 into 4, we'll get the value 136. 136 minus 4, we got value as 132. We'll divide this with 2, we get the value 66. 35 into 6, we got 2310. That is 2310. So that is the sum of first 35 terms. Now the next question, it said, find the sum of all 2-digit numbers. So all 2-digit means it is starting with 10 and ending with 99. Okay, so that is, and the common difference is 1. So easy for you to do that. So first 2-digit is 10. The second the last 2-digit number is L is equal to 99. Common difference is 1. You have to use the formula for Sn for 1 to 99 will be S. For that, N you should first find. So we'll be finding An using the An formula. An is equal to A plus N minus 1D. So we'll be substituting 99 is equal to 10 plus N minus 1 into 1. So 99 minus 10 will get 89. 89 is equal to N minus 1. So N is equal to 89 plus 1, that is 90. Now once we got the value of 90, we got the value of N as 90, we'll be able to find the S90 value. So N upon 2 bracket 2A plus L we can use, as we have A and L. So 10 plus 99, 90 upon 2, bracket 10 plus 99 will be 109. 2 ones are 245. We'll divide this, and then 45 into 109, we got 4905. So 4905 is the value of sum of all 2-digit numbers between all 2-digit numbers means 10 to 99. So I hope till here, children, everything is clear. Now write down everything. properly, and if you have any sort of doubt, please get back to me. Thank you, children.